Okay, we're in the Helicopter Flying Handbook, Chapter 14. We're on page 4 of 18, implementing the decision and evaluating the outcome. Although a decision may be reached and a course of action implemented, the decision-making process is not complete. It is important to think ahead and determine how the decision could affect other phases of the flight. As the flight progresses, a pilot must continue to evaluate the outcome of the decision to ensure that it is producing the desired result. As the pilot made the turn to the downwind, the airspeed dropped nearly to zero, and the helicopter became very difficult to control. At this point, the pilot must increase airspeed in order to maintain transitional lift, but since the center of gravity was aft of limits, she needed to apply more forward cyclic than usual. As she approached the landing zone with a high rate of descent, she realized that she would be in a potential settling with power situation if she tried to trade airspeed for altitude and lost effective transitional lift, the ETL. Therefore, it did not appear that she would be able to terminate the approach in a hover. The pilot decided to make the shallowest approach possible and perform a run-on landing. Pilots sometimes have trouble, not because of deficient basic skills or system knowledge, but because of faulty decision-making skills. Although aeronautical decisions may appear to be simple or routine, each individual decision in aviation often defines the options available for the next decision the pilot must make and the options, good or bad, it provides. Therefore, a poor decision early in a flight can compromise the safety of the flight in a later time. It is important to make accurate and decisive choices because good decision-making early in emergency provide greater latitude for later options. Decision-making models. The decision-making process normally consists of several steps before a pilot chooses a course of action. A variety of structured framework for decision-making provide assistance in organizing the decision process. These models include, but are not limited to, the FP, the 5 Ps, plan, plane, pilot, passengers, programming, the OODA loop, the observation, orientation, decision, action, and the DECIDE, detect, estimate, choose, identify, do, and evaluate models. Figure 4-2, all these models and their variations are discussed in detail in the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge section covering aeronautical decision making. All right, so problem-based learning, higher order thinking skills, HOTS. All right. Yep. This is the various models of decision-making are used in problem-solving. So risk management is the decision-making process designed to identify hazards, systematically assesses the degree of risk, and determine the best course of action. 3P model, perceive, process, and perform to identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards related to pilot, aircraft, environment, and external pressures. Task management. Task manager is the process pilots use to manage the many concurrent tasks involved in safely flying an aircraft. Information management. Information management is the process pilots use to gather pertinent information from all appropriate sources. Automation management. Automation management is the ability to control and navigate an aircraft, correctly managing its automated system. Situational awareness is the accurate perception of understanding of all the factors and conditions when the 4 fundamental risk elements: pilot, aircraft, environment, and external pressures. Whatever model is used, the pilot learns how to determine the problem, choose a course of action, implement the decision, and evaluate the outcome. Remember, there is no one right answer in this process. The pilot analyzes the situation in light of experience level, personal minimums, and current physical and mental readiness levels, and makes a decision. We'll hold off there. That was ending at page 6 of 18. 6 of 18, that was decision-making models. Implementing the decision and evaluating the outcome, decision-making models. Next will be on page 6 of 18, pilot self-assessment. See ya.